Alright, so I gotta check out here shortly, but I came back in to record. Turn this back on to record because I just realized that I've been talking for the last 10 minutes and I wasn't recording. I'm in a beautiful place. I just want to start off before I get into a little bit of a rant. I'm staying at a place called the Key West Cottages, and as you can see, they're just all lined up, all beautiful. They've got these blue, aqua blue Adirondack chairs out on these little patios. The place is clean, neat. Each unit has a nice living room sitting area with a kitchenette, and there's like a dressing area, 2 beds in the back. At least mine has 2 beds. I'm sure there's king beds here. And then a bathroom off the bedroom. It was a great place to stay, and I would definitely stay here again. Great location, right by the causeway, right near Main Street, right on Main Street. And, 5-minute drive to the beach. My gripe is what's happening with hotels lately. I've been lighting events for the better part of my life and have traveled to hotels all over this country and all over the world for that matter, working on events for corporate America, doing beauty brand events, pharmaceutical events, celebrations of all sizes, shapes, and varieties. And the norm has always been check-in is allowed at around 3 p.m. and check-out is normally, or used to be, noon. Which is great. I mean, it worked for me. Especially when I was traveling, it worked for me. But lately, and I don't know if this is a post-COVID thing, but it seems like the check-in time now is, for the most part, 4 o'clock and 11 a.m. checkout time. In this place that I'm at now, they're probably watching me on camera, it's fucking 10 a.m. So check in at 4 and check out at 10. That, in my opinion, is pushing it. I mean, where do we stop as consumers and put our foot down and say, I'm not going to take it anymore? No, that's a little harsh, but I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. I don't know, it seems a little early for me, but it is past 10 and I've not checked out. The cleaning lady went by. I'll be out of here in a few minutes. Just wanted to record a little gripe. Enjoy my last cup of coffee here. It's my 3rd cup, but you know what? The first one, I put in a decaf pod by accident. Not good. Anyway, that's all I got. I'm enjoying my view here. I'll give you a quick pan of what I'm seeing. And, yeah, it's been a great place here. Chincoteague Island, Virginia. I'm going to explore the coast, or whatever I can of the coast. It's very marshy here, so you can't really drive the coast. It's very much like Maine, where you have little... oh, wow, it's a low-lying plane. By the way, I wish I could fly my drone here. I'd love to get some shots of this. What the hell is that thing? Alright. That's it. I'll see you on the road. Almost ready to grab the luggage and check out. I'm very sad. So I just got to say that the people are really nice here. I went to take the garbage out. They want you to turn the dishwasher on and take out the garbage. And so I did that, and I came back and my key wasn't working. I guess the timer kicked in, the 10 a.m. thing. So the girl energized my key again. I came back, it still didn't work, and then she's like, so she walked back and personally let me in, and we were chatting about just the ponies and the ducks, and they're really nice people here. So I didn't mean to dog them about the check-in time and all that, because that just seems to be what's happening lately everywhere. So I think they want to come in and clean this place. Gonna grab my luggage and get the hell out of here. Hands down, my favorite place that I've stayed at on this trip out. Not only was it my favorite place, I think it's the cheapest place that I stayed at on this trip. Now, again, we're off season, but I was talking to her, and she said, the girl that helped me with the key, and she said during this pony run thing they have, I think it's third week in July, they're already booked, completely booked. There's 38 units here, 36, 38, something like that. And some of them face the pool, which is cool. Again, I'd love to do a drone flight here. I really would. And then some of them face the bay, kind of looking to the west. The northwest, the other ones face the southwest. I would stay here again, for sure. Maybe I'll be back to see the horses some July. Better book the room now. That's it. Time to hit the road. So I had some footage here as I was leaving Chincoteague Island. I thought I'd share it with you and maybe bring you up to speed. So I'm leaving my cute little cottage here. Key West Cottages again. Try to put a link below to that. Anyway, I'm leaving the island here, and I'm really taking the long way to Alexandria. I had mentioned on the last episode what little towns I was planning on stopping in along the way, but this footage here is from the long causeway from Chincoteague Island over past the Wallops Flight facility. I was going to stop there, but I think they were closed. The tours were closed for the day. If there were tours, I think it was a museum. Anyway, it's a nice scenic drive here, and I thought I'd ramble a little bit just to share the view with you. One thing I thought was interesting, I read an email this morning from Michael Diamante from the Art of Documentary group that I belong to. And I was having a conversation with my friend Frank last night, and this kind of really resonated and hit home as I read this. And I think it could apply to just about any creative that is a little stuck this year so far. Anyway, I'll just read this to you, and hope you get something out of it. It's called Take Ownership. Michael says here, I don't want to have a year of excuses. If I don't have a script yet, it doesn't mean I wait. It means I write it. If I don't have the job I want, it doesn't mean I complain about the industry. It means I reach out. I spark conversations. I build relationships. If I don't feel ready, that doesn't mean I pause my career. It means I move forward, imperfectly. Most filmmakers don't fail because they lack talent. They stall because they outsource responsibility to timing, to gatekeepers, to motivation, to fear dressed up as patience. This year, let's not do that. Ownership is uncomfortable, but it's also the fastest path forward. You don't need permission to write. You don't need certainty to reach out. You don't need a perfect plan to take the next step. You just need to decide that this is your career and you are responsible for it. So act like it. As we head into this year, ask yourself one honest question. Where have I been waiting instead of working? Then, close the gap. It's obviously a sales pitch for
this group, but there's a lot of groups that you can get around that are full of like-minded folks that are wanting to work on projects or things that are similar to what you're working on. And hopefully I motivated him the other night by talking to him. I mean, I know I did after we closed our conversation up, but I thought that was something worth sharing. As you know, if you're watching these, I'm trying to tie in some thoughts from current day Mike as he edits these clips from a trip I took. Well, this was back in November of 2024, and it's now January 2026 as I try to put these pieces together. Of visiting all 50 states in 1 year, the year I turned 60. And I think it's time I start to get caught up here, actually. All right, so what do we got going on here? I think I stopped by, what did I do here? I took a quick chicken stop here. I'm not really sure if I ate here, but it's kind of a comical little statue that I just had to record myself near. I then stopped off at a place that had some really cool crab traps and lobster traps. I knew there was a story here, and I was trying to find it, and took a few drone flights, but that's where we are now, again, on our way to Alexandria before we leave for home.
Just talking to a couple guys down there, briefly. They didn't sound very, they wanted to chat, but they're filling up their traps as if it was for crabs or lobster, and he kind of chuckled. He says, "There ain't no lobster around here. It's crabs." He was putting handfuls of clams into the middle of the trap, which is the bait. But here's a whole little truck of the traps. Check this out. And I think there are birds in here somewhere. Oh, there they are. I see them in there. I don't know how they got in there. I thought it was up on the phone line. If you look deep into the... I don't know if they're stuck in there. They might just crawl in there to get remnants of food. They're being quiet now. See if I can find one. Where'd he go? Oh, there's one. A couple of them way back there. See them? They know I'm here. I must step away and these things are going to chirp. So I'm in an area called Port Charles. I don't know if I can fly the drone here. There's a Coast Guard place right there. Look at my app. If I can, I think I'm going to put it up. Just do a real quick fly around here. The old town is over here. I'm stopping at a bunch of little towns on my way. I wrote them down. And the reason I am is because if I would have put in DC, it really wanted to take me up through Maryland. And I wanted to take a more scenic ride. But I'm just taking my time. This is the plan for today. We're going through, not Port Charles, Cape Charles. Then to Hampton, Yorktown, Saluda, Tappahannock, Fredericksburg, and then Alexandria. That's the plan. Let me look at my app here, see if I can put this bird up in the air. Back there would have been a perfect place for me to grab the camera and talk to these guys. It was looked like an older gentleman that was probably the captain. He was loading the traps onto the boat. There was a younger assistant. He was helping move the traps, and there was another older gentleman that I talked to that was putting handfuls of the clams that were used for bait into the trap, into the center of the trap. And those birds were really funny. There must have been hundreds of them when I walked up there. They were like, they all stopped chirping like, "Shh, he's here, shh. Like, we're not supposed to be in here. Don't tell Dad." Anyway, it would have been a great place to talk to them, but you can pretty much gauge quickly whether somebody is interested in having a conversation. I watched him for a couple of minutes, and then I asked him a couple of quick questions, and I got absolutely minimal, short, chirpy answers back. Kind of like if they were there fishing illegally off season without a permit or something. Yeah, the guy, he wasn't very chatty, did not want to have a conversation. So for me to grab the camera and say, "Do you mind if I shove this camera in your face?" Probably wouldn't have gone over well. Anyway, they were just doing their thing. I took a quick flight and shot a little bit of the little town, a little B-roll of what I was just talking about as well. There's some sort of a water tower, or it's probably a lighthouse. Yeah, it's a lighthouse up in front of me. It's kind of cool. Anyway, I'm heading down to Hampton next. Gotta go through, it's a combination of bridge and tunnel to get under the Chesapeake Bay, I think, if memory serves me correctly from my last trip down here with Denise. I was just talking to her about that this morning. The cat's doing well. Looking forward to seeing Penny. Should be home this time tomorrow. 24 hours. Till then, let's see what else we can find.
Leaving Cape Charles and heading south on Route 13, the road does something unexpected. It disappears. This is the Chesapeake Bay Bridge-Tunnel, 17.6 miles of road that doesn't just cross the bay. At times it dives underneath it. Bridge, tunnel, bridge, tunnel, bridge. That's the actual route, and what the girl at the ticket counter told me to look out for. At its deepest point, I'm driving nearly 80 feet below the surface, while massive cargo ships pass overhead, where the Chesapeake Bay meets the Atlantic Ocean. More than 75 million cubic yards of water move through this channel every single day, and over 4 million vehicles make this crossing each year. When it opened in 1964, this was one of the most ambitious engineering projects in the world. One moment you're surrounded by water and sky, the next you're underground, trusting the road to bring you back to the light. And then it does. Land returns, and of course, the journey continues. Obviously, I reached out to AI to help me put that one together, or ChatGPT, Chatty as I like to call it. Anyway, this is a couple of images I created through Midjourney to kind of help me tell this little story. I didn't have a lot going on. I recorded to myself in the car, and you couldn't really hear what I was saying, so leave it to voiceover Mike here, a year and a few months later.
So, I'm driving through this area here called Historic Yorktown. And I have a feeling that I should know more about where I am. What is Yorktown?
This is one of those moments where past me just laughs on camera and says, "Where's Yorktown?" fully knowing that future me is going to have to look it up. a small town with a pretty big place in American history. This is where the Revolutionary War effectively came to an end in 1781, where British forces surrendered to George Washington. In other words, yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Today it's quieter. Tree-lined roads, water nearby, and the feeling that history is just sitting there, politely waiting for you to stop. I didn't. I kept driving. But that's the funny thing about traveling like this. Sometimes you experience a place in real time, and sometimes you just leave a note for your future self to, well, fill in the blanks. This, of course, is one of those times.
Look at this! Look at this bamboo! Holy crap! A bamboo forest in Virginia? Who knew? You know, I got all these high hopes of doing a drone flight, or several drone flights, of which I've done hardly any today, or on this trip. But anyway, you know, it's going to be getting dark soon, actually. It's like 3:15. It seems to get dark around 5, so I'm realizing I'm in the middle of all of these. That was like a Revolutionary War museum back there, and there was this thing called Colonial Parkway, and you know, my friend Frank would probably be laughing at me, and my uncle, everybody that's been here and that's, go ahead, it's all waist up, who have been here, like, oh yeah, the museum, we should have gone there, Williamsburg and Yorktown. Just flying through all this stuff. If I haven't expressed it on my face, I'm having a good day. What's going on, man? So Saluda was kind of a bust, and I thought it was going to be. And when I say a bust, I'm kind of looking for areas near the water, near marinas and bridges. I find that kind of a fun place for me to fly. I'm not sure why I'm really into the boat aerials and stuff, but I think graphically having the boats and the docks gives me some subject matter to kind of map out and fly around. And anyway, Urbana is where I ended up instead of Saluda, and I just did a quick drone flight there. I like to get in and out of these places and not annoy people. People were launching their boats and taking their boats in. It was kind of a quiet port, though. There wasn't too much activity. Put the bird up, flew around a bit, and I'll either share a little bit of that now or wait until I get another flight in. If I do, sun is setting like a bowling ball to my left, so I don't know. I put in the GPS a little back roads way for me to get from here to DC or Alexandria. It has me landing there in about 2 hours. It's also getting about that time to see deer, so I'm looking for places to fly the drone, looking for deer. Man, I'm just getting into the trip now. Deer, 2 deer. And now the cold's mostly gone, although I'm a little bit hoarse in the voice. And I'm really getting into travel again. But I'm leaving tomorrow. Look how gorgeous the color is over there. Unfortunately, I'm at a gas station. It'd be nice if I was in front of the lake. That's the brakes. I still appreciate the light.
In 1 mile, make a U-turn.
Look at this nice little spot that's been on all my... Oh, man! Oh, for God's sakes. By the way, I have this amazing freaking sunset going on behind me, and I'm in nowhere, no place to photograph it. I'd love to get the drone up in the air. I'm freaking out because it's like lavenders and oranges and
Use the left lane to make a U-turn.
yeah, but can I park here somewhere? Come on. Tell me there's a park here somewhere. I'm freaking out. freaking out.
Use the left lane to make a U-turn.
Where? In the grass?
Make a U-turn.
Well, at least you'll see some of this color when I go over the bridge. Although it's dying now. Why is everybody in such a fucking hurry? All I want to do is fly the drone right now. That's all I want. Are these chemtrails? Text in, let us know. So, I just want to, I don't know, just document this little journey that I'm on now. I decided to get off of 95 when I was heading up to Alexandria because it was packed and I kept getting these little red sections, traffic slows down. It was really stressful. I pulled off to the rest area. I looked at my phone and I was like, why don't I head over the next exit to get off, go to Mount Vernon, and then head up north from there. I love this route. I just hope I don't see a deer. I've seen plenty of deer signs. No deer. Good morning. Figured I'd give you a little quick tour of my hotel room. I'm in Alexandria, Virginia, and I gotta catch a flight this morning. So let's start, it's a strange place to start, but let's start from the bathroom here. I'm staying at a place called the AKA. I think it's an AK, I don't know, I found it on Expedia. It's only been here for about a year, I think they said. Very cool, chic. Well, it's a lot cooler than I am. Had dinner last night in a funky kind of a bar setting. There's a big cloud, paper cloud over the bar. I don't think I took a picture of that, but I took a couple pictures of the lobby. Anyway, so this is this very sleek, kind of futuristic, well, used bathroom. Honestly, when I was in this thing, I felt like I was on a spaceship. But it's designed well, very minimalistic, recessed cove lighting. So anyway, so this is the entrance from the door. You can see I'm packed up and ready to go. I like this mirror here. It's got this channel here that's got recessed lighting back in there. Nice smooth lighting on my face. One of the things that's kind of bizarre is this artwork here. It's the first thing I noticed when I walked in, actually. Not sure what that's supposed to imply, but the hand seems very weird, kind of like it's AI generated. Look how long this finger is. It's very bizarre. And then this is like a little texture. Not sure what the two have to do with each other. And I thought there was lighting behind here, but I can't find the switch. So this is the room. It's a very, well, cooler than I am kind of room. I love the lighting details. This is a strange one here. I was like, what is this, a dancer pole or something? What the hell is this? I'm like, oh, it must be a light fixture. Let me turn it on. Maybe it's got something on the back or something. But that's it. That's what you get. That's what all that tube's about. Very bizarre. I don't have an amazing view here, but I got a view. Again, I'm in downtown, in the north end of Alexandria. It's got a nice sitting area, table. It's very big, and it's got one of these coffee machines, which I totally screwed up because the piece here, as you can see when you lift up, it goes down and over here. I tried to fill that with water. Of course, there's a little vent right there. Got water all over the place. And it's got some overpriced snacks, which I partook in last night. Little dark chocolate almonds. And then, of course, your mandatory robe situation. Oh, I love the lighting there. Recessed lighting. inside this thing. Safe, shelves, steamer, and as you can see, this LED lighting there. Nice attention to detail. All right, let's sit down and finish the coffee. I'll put a wrap on this thing. All right, I gotta return my rental car and basically take the shuttle and check in. Flight's at 10. I've been up here before during the cherry blossoms. I've worked in Chantilly. I've done a bunch of NRCC gigs with Howard back in the days. At the Hilton, I did parties for the inaugural ones. I did the President's Dinner a couple of times. I'll put a couple of those images in here as I'm rambling. I don't have many video clips, a few of them. I don't know what these last couple of videos were like. I hope I created some sort of value on this. Started out in a pretty funky mood when I started this. Leaving the cat for the first time overnight. Although I had somebody to watch her, it just felt weird. It still feels weird that she spent last night by herself. I guess I'll get over that. Maybe she's gotten over that. I hope she's okay. Did a few drone flights. That was fun. It was a little bit different. So every one of these outings is unique, and I'm sure this one was unique in and of itself. Hopefully, again, I created something that I can remember this trip by. Not sure where we're off to next. It'll be a surprise. Hopefully it's a relatively quiet travel day. Not sure. It's a Monday morning. Let me finish up and get out of here. I'll see you at the airport.
I can't imagine the amount of time that I spent setting up these fake trips over the last, well, few episodes. So I find myself now looking at some footage here of my departure from my little hotel there in Alexandria on my way over to the airport. I forgot how close it was. This was again, a great place to stay. As you could see on the map here, Alexandria is pretty close to the Ronald Reagan National Airport here in DC. I was noticing the color on the leaves when I was leaving here. This was around November 18th, I believe, if I ever want to head up here for the fall again. I couldn't help but think of he was a previous client, and I considered him a good friend, Howard Specter. He lived up in this area. I used to do a lot of work with him on various events. I did a little video about him when I was doing my Washington, D.C. Cherry Blossom series a while ago on YouTube. This is a little footage from that episode. I'll do a link to it below if I remember. But I couldn't help but think of Howard. He passed away a few years ago. And again, he was one of those clients that was more than just a client. I considered him a friend, a mentor. Although he was a little younger than me, but he taught me a lot. He taught me a lot about what I was able to do or what I could do in the events world. You know, as you go through life, certain people come in and out of it, and they affect you and make you who you are. And I would say that Howard was one of those people, and just wanted to bring it up. I was thinking about him as I was driving through here. What else did I do? Oh yeah, I flew the drone a little bit again. I found this really cool little area, and I knew I had a couple of clips, so we'll just share those now as I'm talking. So if you've gotten this far, I really appreciate you being here. Going to continue the season on the next episode, and that will take place in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and that will wrap up this season. So look for those episodes. And one final thing. I think if you remember at the very beginning of this season, I was leaving my cat for the first time with a sitter, and I was really looking forward to getting home and seeing her and seeing how she welcomed me. I guess that's how we'll close this thing out, with a little bit of Penny time. Penny the cat. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Pretty good breakfast spread. Plus I got a view.
Have arrived alive, which is always a good thing. Next stop, home to see the cat.
Hi. Come here. Come here. Aw. He's like, where the fuck were you at?
Yes, it's me. He's like, where the hell were you at with these shoes? Man, what's with all this luggage?
What'd you see, man? What'd you see, man? Tell me, man. Tell me more, man.
I don't see anything out there.
Is this a plant, man?
So there's this cat at work. It's living under the dumpster. I think I'm going to try to catch it. Really? You sure?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.